Hello builders, nice to see you again. I hope you had a great festive season and a great start to the year, because today we're diving into something that will redefine how we work, live, and do business: AI agents. If you don't know who I am, I'm Frank Millard, founder of an AI SaaS platform and automation agency, and I specialize in developing AI agents and automations for businesses across the globe. And today I'll break down the rise of AI agents, what they mean for you, and how you can best prepare on what is possibly the opportunity of your lifetime. So make sure you watch and don't skip, because I'll be dropping some valuable information and context throughout the video that I don't want you to miss. Let's get straight to it. Okay, so let's have a brief summary of what happened this 2024. So Google has released their 2.0 and 2.0 Flash model, which has improvements in reasoning, planning, and multimodal capabilities. What to focus here is the reasoning and planning capabilities, which enable AI agents to perform better on their complex tasks. Then we have OpenAI. They released 4.0 start of the year, and later on their O1 and their O3 models. What to focus here is on the O family of models, which now have native reasoning capabilities. And this is a great step towards AI agents and AGI, because now agents can reason, therefore think before they do any tasks. And this has been proven to do really great at many of these performance metrics and just, improve the performance of the LLM outputs. As you can see here, we're comparing 4.0 to the O1 family. And down here, you can see difference in performance between O1 and O3 across different benchmarks. So O3 is kind of crazy, actually. We can see here the compute cost is actually 1,000 per query, but this will essentially drop over time as technology advances. We've also seen an explosion in the open source LLM scene with DeepSeek, and you've probably seen a lot of videos in YouTube talking about DeepSeek. At least I've seen. Quen, you probably have seen it as well, and then Llama's new version 3 model. So currently, the closed source language models perform better than open source, but this gap is quickly diminishing. And we've seen companies moving towards local models being installed in their local environments using open source models, for example, from Hugging Face. You can go to Hugging Face and download these models for private use. Doing this has the advantages, as you can see on the screen. What I've seen most companies discuss is the data privacy aspect of things and advantage of having no downtime, because it just relies on hardware if there's any downtime or not. We've also seen Anthropic's Model Context Protocol come out. It's a pretty exciting project from Anthropic, which aims to standardize the connection between disparate data sources so that these can be used as context. So as you're aware, when building AI agents, you have to give it context, and this context has to come from somewhere. You usually create a repository or a vector store to have this as context. Well, the aim for this is to actually connect to those data sources so that you don't have to move any data around. And there has been many cool tools come out in 2024, such as Lovable, Cursor, and Windsurf, which are all over YouTube right now, in addition to assistance in other aspects, such as email outreach, for example, email outreach assistance, SEO assistance, and whatnot. And also, in addition to the LLMs. But yeah, now I want to discuss why all these trends and the introduction to all these assistants in 2024 are going to be relevant this year. So we're going to discuss why 2025 is the year of the agents, and what are the trends that I expect in the upcoming years, and how you can prepare for this big opportunity right now. So as I mentioned before, this is partly because we have seen now a search trend increase with AI agents. So I started recording videos just about 11 months ago, I think, nearly a year ago. And only since a few months ago, we have seen a sudden increase in it. So it's about to go parabolic. So lucky you, if you're seeing the video right now, you are ahead of time. So this is just only going to go parabolic from now on. So the next big revolution, right? We have come a long way. So as I said before, all of the innovation, all the tools that came out, it's just going to help with AI agents taking off this year and the following years. So we're going to see big transformation from now on. And I'm going to mention this in the next slides. But we have gone from transformer architectures, which are the backbone of LLMs, in a few years only. And then the jump from LLMs to reasoners happened in a very short time. And agents only started surfacing. But now with the help of reasoners, or reasoner models, if you may, such as O1, now we're able to build really robust and really accurate agents, and it's just going to get better and better and better. So if you may, the agents that you saw in 2024 were a very crude version of what's possible. So what I've seen also in 2024, which is going to keep going as a big trend in 2025, is agentic specialization. Let me explain. So over 2024, we have seen further improvements in the large language models, right? Just overall, and the accuracy of the output, the increase in speed, the reduction in costs. But now we're starting to see really smart people grabbing these foundational models and fine-tuning them for tasks that are specific across verticals, okay? Across specific verticals. So they're grabbing these, fine-tuning them, and creating agents that are really good at specific tasks in healthcare, business intelligence, finance, retail, and you could think about pretty much any other vertical. This trend is going to continue, and we're going to see a lot of AI agents that are really good at pretty much every vertical as the years pass by. So there's probably going to be, you're going to be able to go online and, choose an agent for the specific type of task that you want to accomplish. And this is what I want to discuss right now. So over the next years, I see us moving from a typical software as a service model to agents as a service. So you're going to go to a website and you're going to be able to pick a digital assistant or an agent for a specific task that you want to complete. So before, until now, we were using, software such as Excel to achieve tasks that otherwise would have been done by hand, right? So if you can imagine Excel, before Excel, you had to do calculations by hand or use a calculator. But with Excel, you're able to speed that up by just clicking and typing a few things, a few numbers in some grids, and then automating the calculations. So as you see here, use my software to do things that you had to do by hand before. Okay, cool. Now we'll type and click things in your software. But now we have access to all these tools that are speeding up our time. But now what we're going to see is agents come along to our business specific workflows with different tools that we use. And they're going to be able to type and click for us, right? They're going to say, hey, I see that you're using Slack or Meta tools to create ads. You're using Webflow to create websites. Well, let me handle all that by myself. And all that you're going to do, human, is just sit on top of me and manage everything that I do. So make sure that everything is up to your standards. And if not, correct me. So this is where I believe we're going to go in the upcoming years. Well, it's happening across a couple of industries already, right? It's just that people are a bit skeptical about it right now. But yeah, let's quickly go back to the basics, because I understand that a lot of people just don't really know what an AI agent is. So let's go through that really quickly. If you know what it is, obviously just skip these few slides. What is an AI agent then? Well, there's many definitions out there online, but this is the one that made the most sense to me. So an AI agent is a program or system that uses a large language model to decide the control flow of an application or a process, enabling it to autonomously decide and execute a sequence of actions to accomplish a given task. So the key things to consider here is decide, which is just the ability for this agent to reason. Then it's able to perform the task autonomously, and also it's able to perform actions. So these actions are done using tools, right? Such as APIs. This is kind of the process that kind of defines an agent, right? An agent is defined partly from what I said before, but also because of these capabilities. And it's able to do these things in a loop. So you give it a query, and based on the query, the agent is going to plan what it needs to do. Then based on the plan, then it can go ahead and act on it, given the tools that you equip the agent with. Then with these tools, it completes the task, and then it reflects on it. It goes back and looks at the output, and then decides whether the output of this task is acceptable enough. If it's not, then it's going to understand why not, and then it's going to make another plan and go in a loop until the agent is happy with the output of the task, right? So if the task is acceptable, based on what the agent thinks, and this is also based on the user. So the user would be able to also tweak this to understand what is the sweet spot on defining how good a task needs to be completed, how well a task should be completed, right? The person decides this. But yeah, whenever the task is complete, or whenever the agent thinks the task is complete, then the loop is stopped. And let's go through an example. So a data analyst agent. So we might ask this visualization agent, if you may, search for the top 5 products by revenue. Then the agent will grab this and then decide and plan what it needs to do. I need to retrieve monthly sales data from the database using SQL. Once I have the data, I can use Python to generate charts for visualizing trends. And finally, I'll analyze the data and create a summary of key insights. And now, based on this plan, we are going to, the agent is going to actually perform those actions. So it will check within the list of tools that it has, and then go ahead and use the tools according to the plans, that set of planning that it prepared before. So in this case, the actions are, generate the actual SQL, and then use the Python editor to write Python and process and visualize the data. So it's going to do those actions. And then once it has finished doing that, then it's going to check the output. So in this case, it's going to say, I have displayed the top 5 products by revenue, which is what the user asked, but I have displayed the visual as a pie chart when the user actually asked for a bar chart. So that's wrong. So what does it do? It takes what it did wrong and then went back through the loop again. So it's going to go back through the loop in order to make those changes. So we're back on step 1. So it's using that reflection step with the wrong, what it did wrong, and put that on the planning step. So it needs to know, it needs to change the chart type. I need to change the type of chart used to a bar chart using the Python IDE. And in order to do that, I need to locate where in the Python code the chart type is mentioned and then make the changes. So then, we go ahead, the agent goes ahead and uses the Python IDE, change lines 15 to 30 to change the type of chart, and then run the Python code. And when it does, it checks again the output and it says, okay, I have displayed the top 5 products by revenue correctly. And I have also displayed it as a bar chart, which is what the user asked. Therefore, I can finish the loop, I can stop the loop, and the task is complete. So you saw this visualization agent as one agent, but you can also grab different other agents to perform more complete, more overall task, right? More complex task, a task that requires even more steps. So you can tie all these agents together. Let's say we put a daily validation agent, an agent that generates reports, and then an agent that sends those completed reports either as a PDF, attachment, or similar to people on Slack or on Teams. So let's say I say, create me a report about the top 5 products that are losing the most revenue and notify the team about it. So that's going to go to an orchestrator, which decides the order of the agents. What agents, first of all, what agents need to be used, and then in what order to generate the output that the person wants. So in this case, it's going to go to the visualization agent and it's going to say, hey, generate me the top 5 products that are losing the most revenue. Okay, generate the SQL, generate me the visual. Then I'm going to pass that through a data validation agent that's going to check that the data is correct. So, it's going to get the output. The agent is going to create the output, pass it back to the orchestrator. Then the orchestrator is going to, it could happen in many ways, but let's say the orchestrator grabs it back, sends that to the validation agent, and then the validation agent checks. The orchestrator is going to say, okay, I got the output from the visualization agent. Please check this. It says, okay, the data is correct. Now let's go on to the report generator. Okay, with this data that has been validated, right, with the visuals, generate me a report. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Then the orchestrator is going to say, finally, to the communications agent, okay, with this report that has visuals and its data has been validated for, now you're going to send this as an attachment to X, Y, and Z contacts through Teams. It's going to go ahead and do that. So, by putting this on a multi-agentic system, we are able to perform more abstract tasks without defining every single action in the prompt, right? We don't need to go through too much depth, through too much detail on what we want, right? This is going to be all handled by the orchestrator and the agents. And the reason I'm putting these is because this is the architecture that is going to make these multi-agentic systems work best. We have a large language model here. Now we can have a reasoning model. It's going to perform even better. It's going to make less errors. and it's going to send these to smaller parameter language models that are going to be really good at doing one specific task. The smaller the parameter, the more accurate the tasks are going to be if it only needs to do one specific task, right? All the additional parameters, if only doing a task is, for a small language model, one single task is irrelevant. You don't need the typical parameters of a large language model in order to do one simple task, because first of all, it's going to take longer. Okay, so by having an SLM, you're taking less time to do it. It's going to be less costly and potentially it's going to be more accurate because it's been trained to do that single task. But anyways, I don't want to get into much detail here. I just want you to get the overall understanding that we can put this visualization agent into a larger system in order to perform more complex tasks like this one here. Right, so then in the future, we should be able to package this system, or we should be able to have agents that are able to do entire processes, like handling the whole ad creation system from start to end, the content creation system from start to end, creating a full financial report from start to end, gathering meetings and so on. So these processes are going to get better and better and better so that they're going to be able to automate even more tasks as we go over time. And this shows the effect on work life, or the effect that agents are going to have on the corporate or the work world. What about the personal life? This is going to change as well. Agents are going to be embedded into house assistants, AR glasses that are going to guide you where to go. If you need any translations, any email sent, we can embed these into AR glasses, for example. Humanoid robots might contain agents as well. Wristbands, in order to check your heart rate and predict tasks to do in accordance to your heart rate, for example. You need to do X, you need to do Y, maybe based on your heart rate. If your heart rate goes above 110 BPM, it's going to send an email and inform your doctor that you need to schedule an appointment with him. So these things will become an essential part of your life at some point. Just make your life easier, especially with AR glasses. They're going to become to a point where you're not going to even realize there's agents within those glasses or within the equipment that you wear. And we talked a bit about the wearables and the smart house assistants, but now we're going to talk briefly about the inputs, how we communicate with these agents. So we've seen this boom happen mainly, regarding text agents in 2024. We're getting there with voice agents, right? We can interact now via talking. They're not there yet, as I said, but they're getting increasingly better. And I expect in 2025 for them to be pretty good. And then my friend here, Elon Musk, is innovating in the brain-to-computer interface space with Neuralink. And as you see in a video here, I think, this last 2024, they implanted successfully a Neuralink within a first patient, and he was able to play video games and play chess with the brain-computer interface. So this is insane. And we're going to get to a point where we're not going to even have to think anymore. The agent is going to be able to predict based on past interactions what we want. So based on what you were thinking right now, or based on your movements, for example, or based on your brain stimulation, brain activity, I think that you want X, or I think that you want Y, or I think that you want this email sent, right? It's crazy, but I expect this to happen at some point. And we've seen the CES 2025 conference, Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, talk about agentic AI as well, as you see here. So we started with AlexNet. I suggest that you watch a video on that. Then we went on to perception AI, generative AI, which was kind of the start of the boom in 2023, 2024. And now we're seeing this, right? Agentic AI being embedded into coding assistants, patient care, customer service. And later on, as we saw before with the robots here, these agentic AI systems are going to be embedded in those robots and self-driving cars and so on. They're going to have a better perception of the environment and are going to be able to act accordingly. Well, now you might be thinking, sure, Fran, but how do I prepare? Well, there's two segments of people, of viewers, that are hopefully in this video that I want to address. So first of all, if you're a young adult / entrepreneur, you're going to do the following. You're going to position yourself in the center of this revolution. How are you going to do that? Well, you're going to master the AI automation skill set. I want you to learn how to build AI agents. Either that's doing the code route or doing the low / no code route. So I've learned how to code Python and a bit of other languages in around 2-3 months. But if you don't want to learn how to code, you can always prototype really quickly using low / no code. And in this channel, I'm teaching how to use tools such as N8N, Make, I'll be doing a lot of more videos of those. Relevance AI, I want to start doing videos about relevance, more about N8N. Also want to get into prototyping software as well, using no-code tools such as Bubble and Softer. So I will be mostly teaching this no-code route because it's the lowest effort, highest reward route that you can take if you don't want to learn how to code. It's also amazing tools for code as well. But in this channel, I'll be focusing on this aspect of things. Regardless of what path you take, the code route or the low/no code route, you need to understand this first of all. So as I mentioned before, right, this is only a bunch of the tools that are out there. And the thing is that you can get overwhelmed very quickly on what tools to use. You can get into panic mode and say, oh, there's so many tools out there, I don't know what to use. Well, that's okay. As long as you think in this following way, using this framework, okay? What first, not how. Focus first on what you can do with AI, okay? Focus on the bigger picture. What is it that you want to accomplish and how can AI help? And then once you have a clear, well-defined understanding or description of what you want to do, then you figure out what tools are going to accomplish that. What tools are going to accomplish the big picture that I have, okay? So that's the way you should think about these things. And then that's when you think about the tools that you need to use. Don't get me wrong, learning specific tools is still important, but don't let it be the main priority. Sure, I'm going to teach all these tools, but there might be another tool out there online that I didn't teach that might be useful for your case scenario, for your scenario. Okay, I'm going to put an example right now here. So the what would be, I need to automate sending weekly reports from customer feedback. And then the how could be, okay, well, I can use Make to trigger an automation for fetching feedback responses from Google Sheets, then summarizing those key insights with an AI tool like, the OpenAI API connection, and then sending summarized reports via Gmail or Slack automatically using the Make modules. All right, that could be it. If you can use no code to do things instead of code, then don't overcomplicate yourself, okay? That's something else that you should realize. There's another example here. I need to create a tool where my team can interact with meeting data conversationally, right? In a kind of a conversation chatbot kind of way to get specific insights like decisions made or follow-up tasks. Okay, now we're seeing here that we need a conversational interface and this can't be made with Make directly. So you might need to use some code in this. So the how would be use Zoom's API for transcript, then build a rack power conversational interface with Streamlit, then use the code integrations and logic with Cursor. Okay, so you need to really understand if there's a no code, low code solution for this, and when you should make the step to build a code solution. That should be if you see that what you want to build is not possible with no code / low code. Okay, so have that in mind. So as a young adult or entrepreneur, when starting to build these AI agents and AI automations, if you don't know where to start, then start by finding a problem in your own personal life and use tools like Make and N8N to solve these. Otherwise, you can also you definitely have a network of people around you, and maybe your dad, maybe a friend of your friend knows someone that has a business, and go to them and say, hey, I'm learning about these AI tools. Is there any process within your business that I could automate with AI? And I'm pretty sure they're going to say, yeah, AI is interesting. I heard of AI. Yes, I'll give you a shot within my business. Let's see what you can do. Some people could be skeptical, but people are starting to change their perception on AI at the moment. Maybe at the start of 2024 or late 2023, it was a bit different, but now AI is everywhere. It's in news, it's everywhere. So people have matured a bit. So you probably get a positive reaction if you ever come to them and say, hey, I can build an AI solution for you, or let me try at least. I don't think they'll turn you down. If you want a guide on building effective agents, this counts more for the code side, but this can be also applied for tools like Make and N8N. You can check out this post by Anthropic, which guides you through building effective agents. It's really good. I suggest you try it out. And a good tip for building effective agents is to learn from the industry. This is a really good one. So you need to be able to understand at least one business process very well, very, very well, from start to finish, every single step to accomplish a task, including the tools that are being used. Because if you know that, then you'll be able to understand how to prompt the language model effectively, because you'll have enough understanding on how the business process works, and you'll have a good understanding of what tools to use and how to prompt the language model to use those tools, okay? And also you have hopefully a good amount of data as well from learning these processes, right? Where this data lies, where this data sits as well, to be able to fine tune your model, for example, or add some context in a RAG pipeline or similar. But the point is that first, understand a business process well. Because if you do that, then you're going to know where AI should be implemented and what steps would AI or AI agents be implemented best to make the process as most effective as possible. Because some processes don't need AI agents or AI. Some steps within a process don't need AI or AI agent. So you really need to have a good understanding on that. So a way to do this, as I mentioned before, is just go to your local network and find someone that owns a business and then come to them and say, hey, I want to help out. I've been learning about this AI stuff and I've been playing around with these tools and they have a lot of potential. Do you mind if I sit down with you one day and you take me through a process that you think could be automated with AI or a process that is really tedious for you? And then you go ahead and figure out. And if for some reason you don't have that luxury, then you can go ahead and create your own AI automation agency. Set up a website, get some ads running, make YouTube videos, whatever you want, and get to a point, if that's the case, to get clients. Or otherwise, you can just go ahead in your local area and just start chatting to people saying that you have an agency, you have a business, it doesn't matter, or that you're just willing to help. But the point is that you need to surround yourself with business owners and start chatting to business owners. And be curious about the processes that could be automated with AI. So that's route 1. Route 2 is joining a company as an AI specialist. So these are the 2 main routes in order to learn from the industry. And if you're a business owner, then you need to understand that there's going to be people that have similar businesses to you that are going to consider implementing AI within their companies or the businesses. So if you know that, then make sure you are the first one so that you're not in a threat of being out of competition. Because the thing is that with these companies, that the first companies that leverage AI successfully within their workflows are going to be leaner. They're going to require less people. They're going to have more personalized marketing as a result. And their processes are just going to be leaner. I mean, the first point is similar to the third point. But what I mean by this is that, let's say your business has 50 employees and a business that has implemented AI within themselves has, let's say, 20 employees and 5 AI agents for tasks across different departments. So what's going to happen is that your competitors that have these 5 AI agents and 20 employees, first of all, they're going to pay less because they just have less employees, right? They have 20 employees instead of 50 employees and 5 agents, which are essentially just pieces of software. So they're going to be paying less for doing the tasks that you're doing. And also they are going to accomplish these tasks much quicker because agents are able to handle multiple tasks simultaneously. So they're going to be able to handle tasks quicker, they're going to be able to handle more of them, and the business owners are going to be able to pay for them is going to be able to pay much less to accomplish those tasks. So you tell me, what position is better to be in? In a traditional business with no AI in it, or within a business that is willing to test out AI solutions? So you tell me. So these are the steps to take if you want to not be at a threat. So start looking into your workflows, okay? Create SOPs if you don't have. Because I know that so many businesses don't have. So if you don't, make sure you have a solid set of SOPs. And then chuck those into ChatGPT if you want, if they're not obviously secretive or anything, or they don't have any confidential information, but try to generalize them at least and chuck them into ChatGPT and then research, or even don't use ChatGPT if you don't want to, but whatever you do, research what could be automated with AI automations and agents. And once you have an understanding on where this could be, then go ahead and call an AI automation agency, okay? There's many online, including mine. So I'll leave a link down in the description with a link that you can get in a call with me to see how we can help and implement AI within your business. Let's say you don't even have the power, or you don't have the time or effort, let's say better, to research what could be automated with AI. Some AI automation agencies are consultancies as well, and they will be able to handle the research process for you as well. The whole point with this is that get in contact with people that are knowledgeable with these tools, because then there's a high chance you're going to be left behind and the competition is going to outgrow you. It's going to perform better and for less cost. So have that in mind. And these are some main pillars where AI automation and agents can help. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The last point, okay? Don't forget, we are at a crucial moment in history. This has not happened before. This is the first time this is happening in history. We are at a very important moment in history, ladies and gentlemen. This has never happened. The closest thing that has happened to this is the creation of the internet. And this is even bigger. We're going to see a massive shift in all industries. So don't forget that. Don't get left behind. Hopefully with this video, you've learned a couple things so that you can prepare yourself for this 2025 to not get left behind. And just to finish it off, you can stay how you are, but the biggest risk you can take is not taking any risk. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.